encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hype-a-thon. I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and on this channel, I talk about motivation, positivity, life lessons, anything that I personally have been through, or some lessons that I have heard from some friends or some close confidants. So let me welcome those who are in the chat right now, and then I'm going to get into today's topic. Hey everybody in the chats. We got first in Yaya's Best Life. We got J3GX Farm. Welcome. We have You Learn with Robert. Hey Jaden. Hey Official Jamia. Hey I Bring It Every Day. Hey Swoop Like Me. Blue Lotus Vibes. Everybody who's in the chat, thank you so much for being here. And if you could thumbs it up, I'd appreciate that. So welcome to the Hype-a-thon today from Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek and Miss T with the T. I thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this Hype-a-thon this month. I enjoy it every single time. I appreciate all of you. And I got to do a shout out to my mods who hold it down. Thank you, mods. And also, I got to say shout out to all my channel members. I have linked above way that you can support me, and I'm going to put that back on the screen. These are the ways that you can support me on this channel. And I thank you all so much for being here and supporting Marlene Motivates. If it's your first time here, I love for you to subscribe to my channel if it's something that you vibe with and everything. I'd appreciate that. So let's get into this topic, everybody. So today we're going to talk about sometimes you have to leave people behind. How many of us in our life have been through things that causes you to do a self-evaluation? I think I may want to leave this person behind. How many of us? Probably all of us at some period of time in our lives feel that we have to make an evaluation of the people around us. Because whether you know it or not, the people that we attach ourselves can cause us to either elevate or decline. So sometimes if you get to a point in your life where you feel like you're being stagnant, you're not moving the way that you want to move, you're not elevating, or it's affecting your moods and it's causing you to be out of character from your regular normal. Maybe it's the people that are around you that are causing you to decline, or you could say thank you to the right people who are causing you to elevate. So let's get into this. I'm going to be talking to you all about 7 reasons why you may have to sometimes leave people behind. And it's a very necessary thing for us to do. Point number 1, because they are toxic. Now, we all know what a toxic person is. A poisonous person. It's like when you're around them, it's just, they bring the pain, they bring the anger, they bring all of this negative vibes and they dump it on you. It's like garbage. They bring all of their garbage and then they dump it on you. Now, somebody who is toxic is not a comfortable environment, is it? Most of the time, toxic people are always trying to make it seem that they are the only person in the world. I know all of you know somebody who is toxic, right? I know a lot of toxic people. But this is the question. Are we going to allow those toxic people to cause you to decline? See, at a certain period and point in our lives, we have to make a decision if we are going to elevate our life by leaving them behind. So yes, sometimes you do have to leave certain people behind in order for your elevation to take place. So everything is about a toxic person. Have you ever noticed that? Every single thing in the world, they can turn everything, especially if it's something that involves another person. They don't like the spotlight being on anybody else besides themselves. Why? Because a lot of times toxic people are narcissists, they have mental illness, or they're users, or all three. And we have to identify that. I'm not throwing any shade. There's no shade against people who have mental illness, but you have to identify those people. And if they're causing it to be a toxic environment in your life, you need to evaluate if that's something that you want to continue to be surrounded by. Yes, it's important because we're wise people, right? We're motivators. We're those who are always looking to elevate. And we can't elevate if we're keeping our environment toxic. Isn't that true? How can you elevate and escalate when somebody is constantly bringing you down with their toxic and poisonous drama? So, the thing, most of the time, people who have that narcissistic personality, mental illness, users, they make an excuse for everything, don't they? How many of us know them? Everything. They make an excuse, but don't use an excuse for them as something that you just accept. Because sometimes we'll say something like, "Oh, they have this mental illness, or they have this, or a person who is entitled, that user." We say they've been doing this for years, and you receive it as it's normal, and it's not. It is not normal to be around somebody who makes everything about them. Yes, everybody at a point in time has to be served in a relationship. You have to look at other people. And if they are a person who is only wanting to serve themselves, sometimes that's your invitation to open your eyes and say, it may be time for me to leave this table, this relationship, and close the door. So don't let somebody, because of their mental illness, their narcissistic personality, or being a user or entitled, cause you to not elevate. And this is a reason why we have to look and look with our eyes wide open. Sometimes after you've been around in a situation, especially with friends and family members and other people on the job, and we just feel that this is all that I can accept. And you don't have to accept the ordinary. You don't. You don't have to accept what people put out just because they may be related to you. You don't have to accept the bad behavior from other people. No, you have to choose yourself. And that's why I wanted to cover this topic, is because most of the time we're so busy in our lives doing things for ourselves and our family, for our families, that we don't even take time for us. Yes, I wanted for you to put the focus on yourself right now in this discussion today and think about yourself. Because, yes, it's important to love and to serve other people and to be there for others, but also you got to bring your own self to the table and ask sometimes, am I being fed? Yes, we have to be fed and nourished ourselves, and we can't do that in a toxic environment. Let me go to the chat and see what you guys are saying, because I see I missed a lot of comments. Hey, House of Entertainment, how are you doing? Welcome. Hey, Grammy's Journal. Hey, Boss Life Online, you did amazing just now. Let's see what else I missed. Hey, sifting some soil and more. Welcome. A lot of new people in today. Thank you all so much for being here. Hey, you learn with Robert. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, I bring it every day. And let's see if there's anybody else that I missed before I move on to the next point. Hey, Eunice, how are you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here, and everybody who's in the chat. And if I missed anybody, hey, Jamia, how are you doing? Good to see you. Anybody else that I missed, I will check in again before I end the live. So let's get back into this topic because it's a deep one. I want to talk to anybody who is that kind hearted person, anybody who is that loving person. And a lot of times, people in our lives think because we're so kind, because we're so compassionate, that they take and take and take and never think that you need to be considered. So, this is for you. Sometimes we have to talk to our own self and say, am I being taken care of? Have I been loved? Have I been given the things that I need? No, it's not selfish to love yourself. It's not. I know a lot of times we think when we're doing something for ourselves or when we're trying to elevate that we are doing something wrong, but don't feel wrong for trying to elevate your life. And we have to do that sometimes by taking an evaluation of ourselves and saying, hey, this is so true. This may be a person that I may have to leave behind. So the first person that you may have to leave behind is somebody who is toxic. Okay. Let's get to point number 2. You may have to leave someone behind that is not serving a purpose. Okay. We all know about how important a purpose is in our life, but we have to also think about the people who are in our life. If we do not have people and they're not busy going after their purpose, they're going to drag you down from elevating yours. And I'll say that again. If we don't have people in our life that have their own purpose, they are going to drag you down from achieving yours. Yes, if that person does not have something to focus on, something that feeds and nourishes them, now it's going to be something that is going to cause you to be dragged down from your own purpose. And we don't want that. We don't want anybody to drag us apart from our purpose. See, when you know your worth, see, I spent a long, long time in therapy, 7 long years, 7 long years fixing myself. And I don't know if any of you have ever been to therapy, but the more that you spend your time in therapy is the more time where you get really clear about what you're wasting your time on, the things that we think aren't important, and then you get that razor focus on what I really should be thinking about. And when you get clear like that, that's how I can give you this second point. We think sometimes that our purpose in life is to be there for other people, your kids, who you're in a relationship with, your job, and you're so busy and focused on those things. And then you start to neglect your own self. You start to get further and further away from your own purpose. And that's why sometimes we feel so down and so drained and so weak because you're not feeding and nourishing your own spirit. Yes, you got to feed and nourish your own spirit. You got to take care of you because if you are not being served in this day to day life, eventually your heart is going to give out and your body is going to give out. This is so important. So, whoever needed to hear that message, I hope that you receive it. And people who aren't serving a purpose in your life, I like to call those still people. That they're still making excuses, still being lazy, still doing the same thing that they've been doing last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. See, we don't need people in our life who are still people, stagnant people. Have you all ever seen stagnant water? After a while, it's repulsive. It stinks. See, those still people can bring an odor and a stench because they're not doing anything to elevate themselves. So guess what? When they're not elevating, guess who doesn't get elevated? You, me. And we can't have that happen. See, you're too precious. I am too precious. See, we got to understand our importance in this life. And when you understand your importance, when you understand your value, when you understand how loved you are, how much of a meaning you are in this life, then you get busy about knowing your purpose. And I want to talk to somebody who hasn't really tapped into that purpose in their life. I want to encourage you to take some time, take out a paper and write down the things that make you feel good. What makes me feel happy? What makes me radiate positivity? What brings me joy? What gives me peace in my heart? See, those are the things that you need to be eagerly pursuing. And I mean eagerly. If it's something that makes you feel good, do more of that. And the more we get away from how we feel about things, instead of doing something that just feeds our bank account. See, money is important in our life, but money can't be the only thing. You have to get the money. I'm telling you, get your bag, but also get it and feel good about what you're doing. It's satisfying. Then you're going to sleep good at night. You're going to feel good. You're not going to be drained. It's not going to be like a toxic environment for you. You're not going to be like, oh no, and dreading your next day. See, we don't want to do that. We want to wake up and ready to seize the day because we're doing what makes me feel good. You're doing what makes you feel good. So keep going after that. So the second reason why you got to get rid of these people in our life and why you have to leave them behind is because they're not serving a purpose in your life. Pay attention to that. These still people, and get away from them. Let me see what's going on in the chat, and then I'm going to move on to point number 3. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you all so much for your support. Robert says, very true. Yes. Happy weekend to everybody. Thank you all so much. I hope you all are having a great Saturday. Yes, leave certain people behind. You have to. You have to. Yes, the attention seekers, right, Gio? There's always somebody who is seeking some attention. I don't know if I spoke to you, Pandy, but hi, Pandy. Hey, Patty, Southern Kitchen, welcome in. Good to see you. See if I missed anything. Yes, Boss Life Online, we got to elevate. We have to elevate. And if you don't elevate your life, who is going to do it for you? I know there was a certain period of time in my life where I was just in that survival mode. I was just trying to survive because my environment was so toxic. I had so much negative people in my life, and it was just a struggle for me to just get through one day at a time. And sometimes you're in that space where you're just trying to get through one day at a time. But eventually, I hope, I pray that you can get past just getting through the day and then loving yourself through the day. So get to that elevation too. I hope you do. Yes, you have to love yourself before you can truly love others. Yeah, and that's a life lesson. We have to learn that the more that we mature, the more that we tap into who we are and love who we are. Yeah. Yes, you have to take an evaluation of yourself. You have to. And if you don't, see, the thing about most people, and especially toxic, poisonous people, people who are users and narcissists, they know a person who doesn't know themselves. They know a person who doesn't love themselves. They know a person who is not firm in saying no. They want the person who's always going to say yes. Okay? So know when you've had enough. You got to know. And you got to get clear about your purpose. Really clear. Hey, Wellness. How are you doing? Good to see you. See if there's anything else that I missed. Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, Grammy's Journal. Yes. But we can always shift our bad experiences. Yes, we go through things and we can't always change what has happened to us, but we can always look at how do we deal with it? How are we coping with our situation? You can't change people, but you can always change what is my thought process in this? What is going to be my attitude? What is my outlook? How am I going to shift myself out of this situation? You can't change life. You can't change people. You can't change other people's attitude, but you can firmly change your mindset and your thinking and how you can elevate yourself out of your experiences. You can always elevate. Hey, always Tam Tam. Welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Donna, just being real. Another mod in the house. What's up, Donna? Good to see you. Happy Saturday to you. And to all my mods, because I can't see in StreamYards who are my mods, but thank you to all my mods holding it down today. Hey, Deborah's Journey. Good to see you. Happy Saturday to you. Hey, Ruthie. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me get back into this topic, okay? So now we're on point 3 of sometimes you have to leave people behind, okay? Jealousy. And Boss Life Online just covered that, talking about jealousy. And I just want to pause on jealousy for a moment. You know, most of the time, it's the people who are closest to us that are the most jealous of us. And I didn't understand that until I went through therapy. Sometimes people look at you and they wish that they had your talent. They wish they had your gifts. They wish that they looked how you looked, or they wish that they had the life that you have. And people become envious of that. See, but you can't change how people think. You can't change a person's negative attitude, but you can always change what you can do, what your reaction to how they are is, okay? When you notice, you start identifying the red flags, like, you know, here's another one. They want to exclude you from your supposed friends. They sometimes they take your friends away from you and make them their friends and not yours anymore. You got to pay attention to those things, you know? Or are they always saying your ideas are not good ideas? Or when you do something that's amazing, something that you worked hard for, they kind of just like, oh, that's really nothing. Oh, I did something like that already. They never want to give you your flowers. Identify those people in your life. Those people are not going to change. They're going to actually drag you down. Get rid of those stagnant people. Okay. And if somebody is jealous of you and you're not paying attention now, one day they're going to do something that's going to be even bigger than you can even imagine. So when we see people are doing some dangerous things, toxic things to us, we got to try our best to get away from them. Hey, Drea, good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, everybody, so much for the likes. I also have pinned in the pinned above. Anybody who'd be interested in joining my channel membership, I'd love to have you. Okay. Hey, Journey with Kiki, how you doing? Good to see you. Happy Saturday to you. And I hope everybody in the chat, your family is doing well, and you're here in a good mind space to receive this message. Hey, Frank G, good to see you. Thank you all so much for being here. So we all know about jealous people. You know what they do. You know what jealous people, you know how they move. They're looking at you, everything that you do. Oh, look at you in that outfit, or you spent a lot of money on that, or why are you always going on vacation? They always have something negative to say. So when you look and you identify and see jealous people, just start slowly pulling away from them. And then before you know it, you will be free from them. You got to stay away from jealous people because they're not going to change. You can't make people do the right thing. You can't make people treat you the right way. Either somebody wants to treat you the right way or they don't. You can't make a person grow all the way up. You can't make a person be mature. You can't make a person do what you want them to do. Either somebody will or they won't. And that's the reason why sometimes you got to leave people behind, especially jealous people. Especially the jealous ones, because they will do anything that they can within their power to break you. That's their motive. That's their hopes. They want to find a way that they can crack you and try to get a leg up. No. And don't allow people to have that kind of power over you. Yes, Donna. Donna says something very important. Jealous people are crabs in a barrel. I always like when you say that, Donna, and it's so true. They are going to drag you down. They want to keep you on their level. People, a lot of times that are jealous, don't like to see you elevate, especially if you're about their same age or if you're somebody younger and you're elevating and they're like, oh, how come they're doing that? And they're younger than me, or how come they're doing that? Because they're older. You're never going to be enough for them, and don't try to make them or try to convince them, because you can't convince a jealous person. They got to have their own motivation, they got to have their own life. Okay. Yeah, you can't make a person love you. I spent so many years, I think I spent maybe 2 years of my therapy trying to find out why I couldn't make, especially family members. Why don't they love me? Why don't they love me? What have I ever done to them? And I had to identify and learn from myself that I can't do that for them. I can't make them love themselves, because that's where it starts. Love starts within yourself. And if you are not happy with yourself, and if you have not dealt with your own issues, of course you're going to be jealous of another person, because they have. And I have. I spent 7 long years in that therapy, sitting on that couch, lying on that couch, crying, screaming, being mad, folding my hands, having a hissy fit when I just needed to grow up. And I had to learn for myself that I had to leave people behind. That's not something that my therapist gave to me. I came to the realization that these people are dragging me down, and I got to let them go, because there's no way that you can get to your higher level. There's no way you can elevate. There's no way that you can do your goal in your life by having people who are holding on to you. Come on, come on. Oh, I need. They're always grasping at you, calling you. I want. Do this for me, do this for me. And you yourself never get asked, what can I do for you? Not a good environment, very toxic. Let's go to point number 4, lack of support. See, sometimes you got to leave these people behind. And not always, you can't expect everybody to support every single thing you do. But when you have people in your life and anything that you need support in, they're never there. They don't listen to you. There's a lot of different types of support that there can be. There's emotional support, there's mental support, there's spiritual support, there's financial support. And if they can't give you support in any of those aspects, you got to open your eyes. I want you to open up your eyes, my brothers and sisters, and see that if you're not getting support anyway, emotionally, mentally, financially, no support, you're on a limb all by yourself. You got to evaluate if these are really your people who really love you and care about you. See, sometimes we think because we love somebody that they love us back. No, some people just take and they want to come around you because of who you are and because of where you're going. See, people can look at you and identify, oh, she has it together or he has it together, and they want to take everything. They want to take some of your success away from you. They want to say, if it wasn't for me, you would be nobody. No. Your success is from your hard work. Your success is from what God has downloaded in you. Your success is inwardly. It's your get up and go. It's your resilience in saying, I'm going to get up again. I'm going to try. I'm going to fight. No matter how many times I fall, and I get up and I get up and I rise and I rise and I rise. So the people around you, those people who don't support you, those people who are jealous of you, those people who are not serving a purpose, those people who are toxic, release them and let them go, because you can't elevate. Hey, East, good to see you. You can't elevate. Yeah, but it happens every day, Donna. It happens every day. Hey, April Showers, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it. Yes. And we think a lot of times when we don't have support from key people in our life, some of us didn't have support from your mother, your father, this person, your siblings, maybe people on the job, even your supposed friends. And we feel that it's the end of our life. I can't do anything and I can't be anything without them. Guess what? When you were born, weren't you born alone? Hello. When you were born alone. God had a plan for you over your life. See, and we forget sometimes that we got to the point where we were. Hello, we got to where we were way before them. So you got to tap back into yourself and identify who you are. You got to identify your own goal. You got to say, I'm going somewhere. I'm doing some things with or without their support. See, we think a lot of times we put so much weight and power. Oh, they don't support me. And how come? And how come? And how come? See, unbeknownst to us, a lot of times we think that we need certain people in our life and we don't. Hey, Liz. Hey, Liz. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Embarkation Nation. Welcome. How you doing? See, we think a lot of times that we need people in our life, and we really don't. My husband and I have been going through this for a while with various family members that always have their hand out, but they never give a handout. We decided we're going to slow. Maybe you're saying slow down with them. Yeah, I had to do the same thing. People think that money grows on trees, or they think when you go to school and you're in a good position in your job, that just because you have a good job and you have the money, that they have a right to have it. When they weren't there, when you're staying up all those nights doing those reports and homework and going to school and back and forth and sleepless nights and aggravation, or when you're working and the things that you have to put up with from bosses or whoever, they weren't there. They weren't there. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And it's to the grandparents or aunties and uncles or fathers. You don't have to do anything for anybody if you don't want to. We got to learn to cut the umbilical cord to the toxic people, to the enabling people, to the people who may have some mental illness. They got some these big illusions of grandeur and think this is a certain way. And a lot of times we ourselves have been the reason why people act a certain way. We enable people for far too long. We allow them to have so much power over us. And we have to learn to say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Say it ends now. Take your power back. Thank you so much, Kiki. Appreciate your support. It is really sad and ridiculous. My husband and I have our own business, and we have even offered the person employment, and they'd rather deal with the small income they have. Yeah. And it happens all the time. Unfortunately, that's what it is. So let me get into point number 5. Why sometimes you have to leave people behind. Okay. We just talked about lack of support. They don't support anything you do. So if you don't support anything I do, then you don't need to be around me. See, here is a one that it came to me last night. When you think about people that you want to leave behind, you got to also think about their lack of agreement or their lack of respect of you and your opinions. See, a lot of times people are being very disrespectful. They're disrespectful of the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you live. They always have a big opinion about you. And anything that you say, they don't respect it. It's always discounted, or, oh, that's nothing, or that's stupid, or something negative. See, you don't need those people in your life. No, no, no. Leave those people behind. And we got to learn to back away from those type of people. That's a toxic environment and you don't need it. No, exactly. And I want to say to somebody who needs to hear this message right now, no is a complete sentence. When somebody asks you to do something and you say no, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to say why, because when you say no, people think they're entitled to know the reason why you said no. You're not. You're a whole grown man or you're a whole grown woman. And no is a complete sentence. And no, I'm not answering why because I said no. Done and complete. Okay? Yes, we do. Yes. I'm so glad to hear that, Embarkation Nation. And thank you all for the likes. I appreciate your support. A lot of people feel entitled to your fortunes, friends, family, and your intimate partner. People like that might be narcissistic. Immediately that get them out of your life, they might try to sabotage. Exactly, Donna. You have to be careful about the people that you let into your circle. See, you can know a lot of people, but it doesn't mean that they have to be in your intimate space. And when I say intimate space, I mean you don't have to let them in on the things that you're thinking about, some big things that you're trying to do in your life, things that you're trying to manifest. You don't got to. You don't got to. You see that's privileged information. See, we have to learn that we have to take our power back. Yes, you have the power. I have the power. Each of us has the power to control how our life is going to be. See, if you're not having joy in your life, if you don't have enough love in your life, we have to look back at ourselves. Look back at you and then say, what am I doing? Yes, assuming the responsibility of things. Sometimes we enable the behavior to get way too far along. And we have to say, okay, I've been doing wrong and it stops now. Yes, and it stops now. Hey, the word. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your support. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday so far. Yes, no point blank, period. Exactly. And I think I saw somebody else come in. Hey, Sleazy. Good to see you. Happy Saturday. Appreciate everyone's support. Let me see. I think I've come to the end of the chat here. I meant to say I've been saying for years, no is a complete sentence. Exactly. And it takes some people way longer than others. And it's okay. When you get there, you get there. But learn to say no without feeling guilty. Don't feel guilty because you're being responsible. Don't feel guilty because you make more money. Don't feel guilty because you walk with your head up. Don't feel guilty because you take your vacations. Don't feel guilty because you look amazing. See, that's somebody else's problem that they're not okay with the way they look. They're not okay with the way they dress. They're not okay with their financial situation. See, but you're the responsible one and you figured it out and you're walking in your light and your power and you're elevating. See, and they want that and they're jealous of that. Okay? Don't worry about them. You don't need them. See, sometimes we think that we need people in our life and we don't. You think you need certain people. You stay in relationships longer than you need to. That was me. I spent 2 years longer in a relationship than I needed to because I didn't think that I was strong enough to live and cope without them. See, we think when you stay with somebody so long and you're just used to them and you start rationalizing their bad behavior, and then the bad behavior becomes more, there's more and more bad behaviors than there is good. But you just stick along because you think this is all I can get, this is all I can do. And we lower our standards. See, don't lower your standard. See, you got to elevate your standard. See, and the right person will come along. Real talk. Real talk on that one. The right person will come along. Don't think you have to change yourself to be with somebody because you don't. You don't have to change who you are. See, the right people are going to be drawn to you like a magnet. That's real. That's real talk. Let's get back to this. Okay. Now, we just finished 5. Lack of agreement and respect. Don't ever let anybody disrespect your opinions and make you feel this small. You make you feel that what you have to say is important. See, you can agree to disagree. You're not always going to agree with what somebody else has to say. No, you're never going to have that. But at least to say, okay, that's your opinion and here is mine. And they should say, okay, I respect your opinion. But if somebody starts to put you down, okay, and starts telling you that you're not anything, you're stupid and you're dumb, anytime the insults come, separate yourself from those people. Yes, right person will come along. I always have said is the moment that you have the courage, when you step into that courage and it covers you and you know your worth and you know your power, that's when the right person is gonna come. See, when you let go of a toxic person, you're inviting the sunshine, you're inviting your finances. Everything will shift if you allow yourself to shift. See, once you give yourself the permission to thrive, everything good is gonna happen to you. I am struggling with trying to find boundaries with this individual because it's a close family member. I am going to continue to pray and I am going to work in harmony with my prayers to stay firm. Yes, you gotta stand firm. And anytime when you sidestep, they know that too. When I had to tell a family member one time, it does not matter how many times you ask me. Every time you ask me this, it's going to be no. Every time you ask me, it's going to be no. And I'm not going to tell you why. Because it's no, because I said what I said. They ain't going to come back no more. They will not come back with foolishness. See, when you allow them to come in with foolishness, then they know that they can creep ahead with more foolishness. But if you cut it off, guess what? They're going to stop. Most definitely. Okay. Now let's get into point number 6. Okay. Point number 6 is we have to sometimes leave people behind because they gossip. And they may gossip about you. They gossip about your family. They gossip about your friends. They gossip about your life. See, these are people who are not happy with themselves. They're not happy with who they are. So they're going to do anything possible to drag you down. And gossip is such a hurtful thing. I don't know who said words may never hurt me, because that's not true. Words are something that hurt us the deepest and the hardest. It cuts like a knife into our heart. So if somebody is gossiping about you, guess what? Gossiping about other people, they're definitely going to gossip about you. So pay attention to the people who are talking about others, because it's just a matter of time where they're going to be talking and gossiping about you. See, if somebody has the ability to stab another person in the back in front of you, it's just a matter of time before they're going to stab you in the back. So pay attention when you see things that you don't like. If it doesn't feel good, if they don't make you feel good, like, I don't like how you talk about this person. If you don't like how somebody rolls in front of you, trust me, when you're gone, they're going to be rolling and saying some things about you. That's not good. So pay attention to the people who always have something negative to say about other people, and they never have nothing nice to say. Pay attention to that. Open up your eyes. See, we close our eyes sometimes, especially with our family members. I don't know why we allow family members to get away with way more than they should, way more things that we don't like. We would never let somebody else on the outside do what our family members do. Use, abuse, manipulate. It's the same standard. A good standard is always going to prove true, family included. So don't let other people gossip about you. When you identify and you see that they're gossiping about other people, be like, oh, okay, that's what it is. So it's time, I guess it's time for me to step back as well. Pay attention to that. And those are people that you have to leave behind as a gossiper. I can't stand gossip people. Those can be dangerous and cutthroat. Yes, they can. And a lot of times gossip, the things that they're hearing from other people, they're lies. They don't take any time to verify. They're just, oh, did you hear this? Oh, did you hear that? And do you hear about this one and that? Oh, yeah, I know, and I know, and I know, and I know. They have no idea what they're talking about, but they just love to talk about other people. Stay away from those people. Stay far away from those people. Distance yourself as much as you can. And if you can, run. If you can, run far away from them as possible. Because those are the people that are stopping your elevation the most. You can't elevate around gossiping people. You can't. And it could be why you're stagnant at this very moment. You're something else. Yes, I don't even listen to gossip. And if a person will gossip about others, they will gossip about you. It is a very negative energy. It is very negative. And you don't need negativity in your life. Just living from your day to day life, the things that you got to cope with your own self. You don't need somebody else coming in and giving more negative energy. You don't need that. You need people who are talking about positive things and excited about their life. And this is what I'm doing, and I'm excited. And this is my next level, and I'm trying to elevate. And what are you doing with your life? And then you tell them, oh, you're elevating. And they say, go ahead on. I'm proud of you. See, those are the people that you need in your life. You don't need people who are talking about other people. You need people who are doing their own thing and they're joyous and happy in their own skin. See, most of the time, that's the problem with most people. They're not happy in their own skin. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with their own life. They're not happy with who they are. They're only focused on their past and not dealing with their own skeletons. And they just keep dragging around all of their skeletons day to day instead of cutting that out. See, at a certain period of time, you got to look at your skeletons in your closet. You got to look at them and say, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And I've made peace with that. And I did the best that I could in that situation. And now I'm going to give myself permission to move on. See, that's what I had to do for myself. And I want that for you too as well. Give yourself the permission to move forward. See, sometimes that skeletons our closet, it can bubble in us doubt, fear, feelings of worthlessness, all kinds of stuff. And it gets you stuck. You stay in that rut and you keep thinking, I'm not worthy and I can't do it and I won't and I can't and nobody loves me and I'm not smart enough and my life will never change. See, you just keep going further and further down that dark hole. But you are the one that has to choose to get yourself out of that. See, the same way you got into that hole, it's the same way you can get out. You have to start saying, I believe in myself. I love myself. Elevate, elevate. I can do it. I will, and I can, and I'm somebody, and I'm smart. And say, I'm beautiful, and I'm human, and I make mistakes, and I'm okay with that, and I receive that. But I forgive myself, and I give myself permission to move forward. And you got to do that for yourself. Hey, Sippen. How you doing? Good to see you, Gwen. Yes, you just gotta do what it takes. And sometimes you just gotta put down the axe, the chopping block, and say, I'm done with them. I am done. They're hazardous and dangerous to me and my life. And if you see someone that's hazardous and dangerous and think that you're going to change And trust me, those toxic and hazardous people will always make these excuses. Oh, it's this person, it's that person. They don't assume any responsibility for their own mess, their own drama, their own lack of responsibility, their own problems with their finances. It's everybody else's problem to bail them out. And it's not. It's not anybody else's responsibility to make you grown. Nobody else's responsibility. And also, to somebody who needs to hear it, it's not your responsibility to take care of an adult person. It's not your responsibility to always bail out your kids or the person you're in a relationship with. When they make bad decisions, we have to let them live with it. If you always bail them out of a situation, when are they going to grow up? When will they grow up if you don't let them grow up? When will they grow up if you're always going to come and swoop down and rescue them? See, if they see that, okay, I made this decision and nobody is saving me, what are you going to start saying to yourself? Okay, I may not want to do that anymore. Okay? And if people always come to their rescue, they're going to keep doing the same old bad behaviors. And I want to save your heart. I want to save your finances. I want to save your emotional health from all these traumas that you don't need to deal with. All you have to do is say no. And when we say no to others, this is when we say yes to ourselves, okay? When we say no to others, we say yes to ourselves. Now, this is the seventh and the last point. Sometimes we have to leave people behind so that you can win. See, we can't win a lot of times because we're so busy in other people's mess, in other people's drama, and getting involved with what they're doing. And we never get a chance to look at ourselves. So once you cut that cord, when you cut the drama, when you cut the gossip, once you cut the foolishness out of your life, you're going to get peace. You're going to have your joy back. Your finances will look good. You're going to be smiling. Your circle of people that you're looking at will be supportive. And that's when you're on your road to elevation and you're going to start winning. You're going to start accomplishing because you don't have all of that dead weight. You got to release yourself from the dead weight of other negative people. So you can win. You can't win and elevate holding on to those who are choosing to stand still. Let go of them and take to flight. I'll say it again. Let them go and take to flight. See, we have to understand how valuable and important we are. And we're powerful beings. We're powerful people. We're smart and intelligent, but sometimes we get sidetracked because of life, sidetracked because of maybe painful situations that have happened to us or may have happened to other people. So we got to pay attention. We got to open up our eyes and say, I think I'm enabling that person. I think they're hazardous and toxic. I think they're jealous of me. So let me do a quick recap. Why you have to leave people behind. Number one, because they are toxic, narcissistic, have a mental illness, or they're users. Point two, they're not serving a purpose in your life. They're stagnant and still people. Point three, they are jealous. They may exclude you from things because they don't want to be around you because they want all the focus to be on them. Point four, they never support you. Lack of support. They don't support anything you do because they wish that they were you. Point five, lack of agreement. They don't respect any of your opinions, any of your thoughts. They don't value you and they don't appreciate you. Number six, they gossip. They gossip about everybody and including you. So stay away from people who talk about other people. Point number 7, so you can win. See, you can't win. You cannot win if you're around people who are always losing. And I want you to win. I want you to claim the victory over your life. I want you to be happy. I want you to have joyous. I want you to have your finances overflowing in abundance. And we can't do that unless we let go and we leave toxic people behind. And thank you, all of you guys, so much for joining me today for the Hype-a-thon, which is from Motivation from the Weightlifting Geek and Miss T with the T. Thank you so much. And everybody who has supported me in the chat. I enjoyed this discussion. It was wonderful. I appreciate all of your feedback. You all are awesome. And I want each of you to win. I want you to win. I want you to win. So believe in yourself. So love yourself. So know that anything is possible as long as you believe it up here and you convince yourself. You firmly are actively pursuing. See, everything is about consistency. Be consistent and you will win. Be consistent and you will win. See, I want you to win. I want you to win. I want you to win. You to win. You to win. You to win. I'm Marlene. I'm the content creator for Marlene Motivates. And on this channel, I talk about motivation, positivity, and encouragement. Thank you so much to my mods who held it down. Thank you so much, mods. I appreciate each and every one of you, and you. And to all my members, thank you so much for your support. And to everybody who's watching me for the first time on this live or watching me on the replay, leave me a comment in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. And next up, we're going to go to Drea's Hair and Fitness. Thank you so much, Drea. Thank you to everybody in the chat and anybody who would love to join my channel membership. I love to have you. Thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you on the next time I take part in the live-a-thon. Appreciate each and every one of you. Be blessed, manifest, and like I say, every single video, live stream, just know it. Just breathe it and be it and live your best life. And we're going to end with the song that was written by Boss Life Online. I made it and you can make it too.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, hey, yeah, yeah.
Be encouraged, inspired. Be yourself.